Welcome to the Psychic Pinup Podcast, the anything and everything spiritual podcast where we dive into hot topics, readings, viewer questions, and more. Thank you for tuning in. Now, sit back, relax, and let's dive right into it.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Anything and Everything Spiritual Podcast. My name is Linda. I am also known as the Psychic Pinup. I'm a psychic and medium based on the south coast of New South Wales, Australia, and I welcome each and every one of you today. Now, this episode I have been sitting with for a couple of weeks before I even decided to record it. I was sitting on the fence as to, do I record it and post it? Or do I just not record and post nothing and let it go? But it's been irking me. And particularly now that I have stepped back from doing a lot of expos, and particularly now that I've become a little bit more insular and have stuck to myself and doing my own thing. So we are going to talk about this. Today we are going to talk about something that honestly needs to be said. And I'm not saying this to stir any drama. And I'm not saying this to call anybody out individually. I'm saying this because it's becoming more and more common in this industry, and it's starting to cross a line. Now, you've probably seen titles such as Australia's #1 psychic medium, Australia's most sought after psychic, Australia's most trusted medium. And I want to ask a very simple question. Who decided that? Let's be real for a second. There is no official board. There is no governing body. There is no ranking system that sits there and goes, yes, you are #1. So where does this come from? Because from where I am sitting, these titles are all self-appointed. And that's where the issue starts. Because what it does is it creates a perception for clients that there is a hierarchy. There is a, quote, best, unquote. There is someone who is above everybody else. And in this line of work, that's just not how it works. So let me say something very clearly. No psychic, no medium, including me, not anyone is 100% accurate 100% of the time. It simply does not exist. This work is all about interpretation, perception, energy, and connection. And sometimes things come through clearly, and sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they make sense straight away. Sometimes they don't make sense until later. And sometimes, yes, I will say this, we can get things wrong. And that's the honest truth of this work. So when I see labels like number one or most accurate, it does not sit right with me. Because what it does is it sets an expectation that is not real. Now, let's talk about what this actually does to people booking readings. If someone believes they are going to the best psychic in Australia, what are they expecting? They are expecting perfection. I know I certainly would. They're expecting every detail to land, every answer to be clear, every question to be resolved. And when that doesn't happen, well, you bet you, they feel disappointed, confused, or maybe even like something went wrong during the reading. But the problem isn't always the reading. What the problem is the expectation that was created before they even walked in. There has been a shift in the industry. And this is where I'm going to be honest. This kind of marketing, and I will say it is marketing, this kind of marketing is starting to create a real unhealthy energy in the industry. What it is doing, in my opinion, is it's turning something that should be supportive, individual and personal into something that feels like competition, comparison, and the who's better than who scenario. And that's not what this work is about. Because no two psychics or mediums work the same way. No two people connect the same way. And no one is meant to be above anyone else. I would like to be very clear about where I stand in all of this. I do not consider myself Australia's number one psychic medium, the most sought after psychic medium, or the most trusted psychic medium. And I'm not trying to be. What I do consider myself is to be honest, to be grounded, and to be real about what I do. I will tell you what I am getting. I will tell you if something doesn't make sense. I will tell you if the energy feels unclear. Because I would rather be real with you than sell you an idea of perfection that does not exist. Now, what actually matters when you book a reading is this. Do you feel comfortable with that person? Do you feel like they are genuine? Do you feel like you can trust what they are saying? Because you have to keep reminding yourself, a reading is personal. It is not a performance. And also, the right psychic for one person might not be the right psychic for someone else. And that is okay. So I would again like to make this very clear, that this episode is not about tearing anyone down. Believe me, I'm not trying to finger point. I'm not trying to bring anybody down. What I am trying to achieve here is awareness. Because this industry already gets questioned enough as it is. When we have a lot of people claiming to be Australia's number one, Australia's most accurate, Australia's most sought after, you have to question that. And I'll say the more we lean into the ego, the titles, ranking ourselves above each other, the more we lose credibility, not gain it. So if you take anything from this episode, let it be this. Be mindful of what you are buying into. And if you are in this industry, be mindful of what you are putting out. Because people are trusting us with their emotions, their decisions, and their lives. And that deserves honesty, not titles. I know that this episode is going to be listened to by a number of people. You are either going to agree with me or disagree with me or think I have ulterior motives. I don't. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I would love for you to reach out to me with your thoughts on what I have just spoken about. If you are in the industry, if you are another psychic / medium, reader, however you classify yourself, and you would like to discuss this with me, continue this discussion, even disagree with me, I invite you to reach out to me. Let's record a podcast together about this. I'm passionate about bringing awareness to this industry. I'm passionate about credibility in this industry. Reach out to me. And on the flip side, if you are looking for a reading that's real, grounded and honest, well, you know where to find me. I will talk to you all in the next episode. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye for now.
You have been listening to Linda, the Psychic Pinup. Linda is a psychic medium based on the New South Wales south coast of Australia. You can connect with her via her website, thepsychicpinup.com.au, or join her on her weekly live feeds on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all under the same name, The Psychic Pinup. Thanks for listening.